So, but what has to happen? What is the dollar amount? What needs to be brought to you with this scenario to have sprint cars in the building? I just need this answer. That's all I'm here for.
Well, see, you're
I'm the
backing me in
closest
a
thing to
corner
you in
here.
the sprint car world that there is. I'm just broke and not from North Carolina. Continue. No, I'm sorry.
Well, the reality is, I told you, it takes the names. So
That's
even
not
if
a
I
problem.
told
What's the
you,
number money wise? Tell me.
if there was a number, it's $1 million, period. But
But
if
okay,
you just
there's a
walked
but.
up to me and said, hey, Cody, here's $1 million, so now you're putting on the sprint car race, right? I would still tell you, but it depends.
Oh
Who's
my
coming?
God, you prima donna late model people, you
You
always
want
bitch
you
when the
want me to
track ain't
just take $1 million and put on a sprint car race when I have no idea who's going to come? Because reputation matters.
The names aren't the problem. The show is. I'm talking about the guy with the show right now. That's you. You're saying $1 million.
Then it's
You're saying $1 million. We have to bring $1
because I
million.
know what it costs and I know what the purses are.
So
And I
$1
know what the
million
purses are.
to do a sprint car showcase on Thursday.
Well, that's not
See, so where we?
necessarily. I'm
So
talking
okay, hold
standalone
on.
event.
Okay, so we're past.
I'm
We got
talking
the
a standalone
names.
event.
We got the names. Fine. We got the names. We're past the $1 million. What's the show that's going to happen with you, Cody Sommer, with the names, with the $1 million for sprint cars at the Dome? When? How? What's the logistic?
Well, the win is complicated because the Dome is actually busier than most people think. But let's just say I'm a smart guy. I would find a date that made really good sense for everybody. It would clearly not be July, and it would, make sense. It would be an off-season type of deal, but I'm not going to give you an exact date because I couldn't possibly give you an exact date right now. But I will tell you it would be in that window, and it would be really close to that December time frame. It would be probably minimum 2 day show, maybe 3 right out of the gate, but it would be a minimum 2 day show, and it would be a standalone event, and it would be streamed
On
I
FS1?
could tell you that. Actually, I could just go ahead and tell you not with DIRTVision. It would be streamed. I'll just say that, but definitely not with them.
Oh, damn. You just lost the entire Outlaw roster. We can't say that now. We had to say it after we signed contracts with David.
We can say whatever we want.
I had to sign the contract with David. Maybe DIRTVision's bringing the $1 million. I mean,
I don't know if I would take Brian Carter's money, honestly.
Wow. You have a thing against the Outlaws. This bad. Brian Carter, you don't trust him?
No, I have a thing against Brian Carter.
You don't trust him?
Of course I don't trust him. He's a liar.
Oh, my. You only got 10 minutes left. I mean, you have to explain you can't say that. That's Darth Vader himself,
I think Brian
Cody.
Carter, I think Brian Carter cares a lot about his people, so I'll give him respect on that. I think he cares a lot about his own people, but he does not care about anybody else other than his own people.
So you think that Brian Carter...
I'll let Brian Carter in. Brian Carter knows why I don't like him, and he can answer that for you. And if you can get him on a show, but he probably won't do it. He probably won't do it, but you can get him on a show. He knows why I don't like him, and he knows why I can actually factually sit here and call him a liar flat out. I can.
Well,
I'm a misleader. I can call him a lot of things. I'm not being ugly. You're sitting here telling me why would I rule out DIRTVision right away? Well, it's because I don't do business with people I don't trust. I don't do business with people I don't like. I don't do business with people that I think are going to turn their back on me. It ain't going to happen. And so DIRTVision is out of the question. I'll give you a better one. It'll be $2 million if you're Brian Carter, and DIRTVision it'll be $1 million anybody else.
Now, when you say anybody else, it could be a private entity. Bring their own gig, but they just got to pay a certain amount.
I would say let's have a meeting. That's what I would say.
And then at $1 million, that's to hire you as the coordinator, to put it on, to pay the purse and everything. If I'm bringing the guy who's giving you...
We also have exclusivity at the Dome, too. So,
right, all these things.
You can't do a race at the Dome if we don't do it.
Right.
So it's one of those things.
You're the consultant, you're the coordinator, you're the guy, you're the Jerry Maguire, you're doing everything.
I also think we're the right people, too. I mean, obviously, we know how to do it. We clearly have the tools and people and the methods and the process in place. And a lot of people want to believe that they could just come in and do what we do, but I can promise you it's not that simple. It is not that simple.
If we were to collaborate this package of $1 million, is there any ROI, or is this just simply for the love of the sport?
No, there's ROI potential. I obviously do everything with love for the sport, but at the end of the day, I'm not in business to. I'm not going to spend. You realize I come to the Dome and I spend my whole year working on this, and then I also leave my kids and everything and come here for 3 weeks. It's like you got to have love for this, but it also has to have a financial benefit. Otherwise, why would you do that? Why would you lose that time with your family and with your work and everything else you do? So there's clearly a financial benefit. I think you're kind of keen on or asking, like, if someone was to come up with money as an investment, would they see a potential return? Well, now you're talking what I consider having partners. And I don't know that I am considering having partners. I would say that's not
Well, no,
likely
not even a
either.
partner. But what would
But
a ideal scenario on somebody who was to make this happen? What would a benefit of that investment be? Not like partnership. I'm just asking, what would some form of ROI be?
well, obviously, if someone said, "Hey, or here's $500,000, can I stream it?" That's a form of ROI. But see, this is why. This is another reason why I have a problem with, let's just call it Blue, okay? Blue meaning World Racing Group. But here's why I don't trust them, because they won't let a guy just go do that with a guy like me. They won't. And that is wrong. It is so poor and so bad for our sport. It is so bad. And it should be an open market. It should be let a guy go race.
It should be
wherever he wants to
America,
race.
a free market, is what you're saying.
Yes, and see, and that's another thing that bothers me. That's a whole separate conversation that we can't have.
Hold on, but don't you think that if Flo and High Limit and all them guys had the power, they want to be just as protective? I think I understand this other element.
They have the right to be.
Well, that's
They,
what. But
sure,
but then doesn't World Racing Group have the right to be, since they're established already? That's all I'm saying. I mean, I get their
they certainly have
arrogantness.
the right, just like I have the right to say I don't like that type of business strategy and style, and that's why I don't want to do business with them.
But all I'm saying is the only
it's no
reason. All I'm saying is the only reason the other side has their type of business structure and style is because they don't have the power to be the other side. You know, they don't have the stranglehold on industries to be able to pull those types of moves. You know.
No,
So
I mean, I don't disagree.
I mean, it's self-defense in a way. I mean, but no, I think, and I've always talked against, and I think that's partially why you're on the show right now, is I've always talked against the power struggle, the cliques, the mafia mentality, the bullying, you know.
I wouldn't be on this show if I didn't like some of what you had to say, anyway.
Right. I mean, I feel like Tony Stewart was the same, you know? I mean, I do think that there's some people playing, like, for instance, like High Limit says, we have a freedom schedule. Well, do you? You take off all the weekends when the World of Outlaws have Kings Royal and Williams Grove National Opens and Knoxville Nationals. If you had those weekends as your sanction, would you have those weekends off? Probably not. Now, all of a sudden, you want to have a freedom schedule. So I just see manipulation as far as, like, you can say you're more free in giving, but you have to be more free in giving. You know, that's the only card you have to play. So
I say it's a better chance that the Dome would be labeled as a high limit race than it would anything else. But
I think your
event, so
I think your event, just like the real events of our industry, if you really truly think about them, they don't need a sanction at all. Period. They don't.
And I agree, but you're not going to get the names then, because I actually do not think Brad Sweet would ever encourage his guys not to support something like that. But I do know the other side 100% would.
But hold on now. Once the season, the contract is over. Right now, Flow Racing is promoting Carson Macedo and Buddy Kofoid coming to Perth Motorplex for the High Limit International. So once that,
and I haven't thought about that fact that the off season is technically a free market. It's almost like free agency in a way.
It's open to whatever they want to do.
So there's some truth to that.
Yeah. Oh, I've studied this, Cody. There's a reason we got you on the show. There's a reason we got you on the show. I studied this shit. All right. I'm not coming here with $1 million GoFundMe starting tomorrow. That's the number. $1 million. Okay. Okay. And then can we put in there kind of like some crypto investment? Every dollar made on streaming goes back to your investment or something? I don't know how to do that. We did bring Bitcoin. We did bring Bitcoin.
How about when you get close, have the powers to be, make the phone call, and let's have a meeting? That's what I say.